Listen up, my Gooch maniacs. Ladies and gentlemen, I am back. This is episode 218. If you watch my videos, you're familiar with my saying I said in a lot of my earlier videos: the sex appeal of Elvis, leadership qualities of Ronald Reagan, the Hall of Fame potential of George Brett, the style and profiling of the Nature Boy, woo, Ric Flair, the hardcore heart of Mick Foley, the conservative values of Rush Limbaugh, and the toughness of Chuck Norris rolled into one. And you're familiar with that. One of those men I like to talk about tonight, when I was 20 years old, fresh out of high school, in my early 20s, this was back in the early 90s, I saw these TV commercials. The most controversial name in radio is coming to TV. And the commercials and the vignettes for the commercials were really cool commercials, and they piqued my interest, and I found out that it was going to come on late at night, around 12 o'clock at night. I turned on the TV. And out of the list of those guys that I named off, this is the last one I became a fan of. The other ones I was already a big fan of for years. But I turned the TV on to watch this new talk show. I thought it was going to be a talk show, But it turned out it wasn't really a talk show, but it was a opinionated type talk show. And here was this guy who was saying exactly what I was feeling and what I was thinking, and was saying a lot of the same things I believe. And I took a liking to this guy, and this guy's name was Rush Limbaugh. And I became a big fan of his almost overnight. A few weeks into his TV show, another one of those guys I mentioned, the third name I mentioned, George Brett. And when I say Hall of Fame with George Brett, I mean first ballot Hall of Famer. Whatever Hall of Fame, I should be first ballot Hall of Famer just like George Brett, because I'm that awesome. But George Brett got his 3,000th hit the next day on the TV show. Rush said, "I want to congratulate a good friend of mine named George Brett on his 3,000th hit." And he played the clip. Then George Brett called into the show, and I found out Rush Limbaugh started his radio career as the voice of the Kansas City Royals. And if you watch a lot of my videos, you know I wear a lot of Kansas City hats in a lot of my videos because I'm a big Kansas City Royals fan. I'm a big George Brett fan. Big enough George Brett fan, I even got this autographed George Brett baseball. But that's not beside the point. So that made Rush even cooler because one of his closest friends, if not his best friend, is my all-time favorite baseball player, George Brett. And I became a friend of Brett's. A fan of Brett's for when I was 3 years old. I became a huge fan. But that endeared Rush to me even more. Now, Rush, if you somehow ever see this video, I'm praying for you. You're the reason why you're one of the reasons why the Gooch Call Out videos exist. Because people like you inspire me. The people I name in that thing, in that list of things, inspire me. And that's what I like, that's the best part about it. They inspire me because they are who they are, and they are what they say they are. Rush was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer, and I'm really going to miss Rush. But I'm a very big fan of Rush's, But what ticks me off is when he got the Congressional Medal of Honor from the president. A lot of people were saying very untrue things about him. If any of those people really want a verbal or physical fight, come find me. I will lay the smack down. And that's the bottom line, because the Gooch said so. Keep praying for Rush. And until then, my Gucci Maniacs, I'm the man of the hour, the man of power, too sweet to be sour. Every lady's pet, every man's regret. And remember, I am the sex appeal of Elvis. Leadership qualities of Ronald Reagan, the Hall of Fame potential of George Brett, the style and profile of the Nature Boy. Woo! Ric Flair, the hardcore heart of Mick Foley, the conservative values of Rush Limbaugh, and the toughness of Chuck Norris. Good night. Love y'all. Peace out.